I feel dumb. No, I didn't. Okay. Is it? Oh, it's okay. There we go. Now we're live with like chill music, but that's not playing because it's not the right thing. Grr! Okay, there we go. Sick. I am in the Zaymac Discord. If you want to join Zaymac Discord, I'm in Zay Lounge.
What? What are you talking about? No, I don't.
Oh. I might be able to do FaceCam at the same time if I plug this into my computer. Hold on. Because I use my phone as a webcam. Because it's like, you know, free. I mean, I had to pay $2 for the app, but it's like a high quality webcam for practically free. So, better just do it this way.
Whoa, whoa, is this the only Funky Monkey?
I guess you just won't be able to see my ugly face. Which is fine. Other people can.
Is this the only one?
Other people can have that burden.
Funky Monkey? Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Okay. Just, I gotta yell to people not to open this door because I've had an incident where my mom opened it up. And oh my god, it doesn't want to reverse. You stupid app. Reverse.
Hello there.
Hi.
Is this the only one and only Dawson?
I wonder if the camera's not gonna work while it's FaceTiming. Here, let me FaceTime you with audio. And then see if it'll let me. Here, hold on. Wait.
Why are you even FaceTiming?
Because I hate you.
Ah, that's a good idea.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. Info. How do you do that? It don't work audio. It doesn't work audio. Okay.
Why don't you just call them at that point?
What?
Why don't you just call them at that point?
Yeah, but see, that costs money.
I'm guessing you don't have any.
Yeah, of course I'm poor. Okay. And then while that's calling, we open up webcammy. And it still doesn't work.
Wait, didn't you say you decreased the price of Kari Lifetime?
Yeah, I slashed the price of it.
Why does it still say $350 on the website?
Because it was more expensive than that. It was 130. I didn't say it was $135. So it was $135
I thought you
less.
meant it would be I forget where you posted that. Customer announcements? No.
Crap, it didn't work.
Are you having fun recoding?
No.
Why not?
Well, I am. I'm trying to set stuff up, fam. Hi, Simon. How are you?
I'm trying to make a 3.1 reach shot.
Okay, that's not working. Hold on. Let me ask her if she has Discord.
Yes, if the reach is below 0. Damn it. So if you have less than 3 blocks of reach, you get banned.
Oh, that's smart. That's very smart. That's how you do it. Okay. I have a plan. I'm the man with a plan. Not really. I'm kind of dumb. But hold on. Let's see. FaceCam. Oh, you just really aren't wanting to work today. No, you aren't. I'm so sorry, guys. Hey, it popped up! Liddy! Okay. Alright, move it backward. MacBook. It's a MacBook.
It's a MacBook? Are you sure it's a MacBook? What about your MacBook Air? For the MacBook Air or MacBook Pro?
Okay. That's how we're gonna do it. Oh, that'll work. Hey! Now we're on MacBook. Okay. And then now we got like this thing working.
Is it a
Which I'm
MacBook
trying
Air?
not to show you in camera, but can you see that on the monitor?
Is it a
Okay,
MacBook
yeah.
Air?
So it's awesome. It kind of works. Okay, what's up, 20?
Is it a MacBook Air or Pro?
Pro, because why would I have a plebeian Air?
You just said you were poor.
Yeah, I know, I didn't pay for it.
Oh, I'm gonna explain
No.
that a lot.
What do you mean that explains a lot? As like why I have a MacBook Pro?
Yes.
Even then, why would I get a MacBook Air if I'm poor? It seems like a MacBook Pro costs like $200 more.
I just realized I've been fighting this villager all the time in creative.
Why?
When I haven't. Oh my god.
Okay, now that's working. Sweet, we got a fly jet. Whoa. I'm hungry. But I'm not. But I'm hungry.
I'm making a reach check that doesn't even check for creative.
Well, that's
Great
not hard.
idea.
That's not hard. You just check for creator.
I know, I'm just checking it for creative.
No, we don't do admin here. Literally gonna be like janitor speed check. I'm calling it. I gotta call him now. Actually, I'm moving the checks over from old car.
Call it the worst.
What do you mean the worst?
Call it Wiener.
Call it Wiener?
Yes, great name.
That's a name. Indeed. It should be I shall dub it Sir Wiener. That's so bad. Okay. Let me go ahead and just drag like, because there's no point. I want this recode quick.
Hey guys, you're playing with Funky Monkey here, Josh. Control A, Control V.
Hey, quit making fun of me. It's my work. Solely proprietary of They Funky Monkey.
Trademarked by Funky Development.
Actually, it's Brighton. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, Brighton.
Yeah, I'm trying to get away with the name Funky Monkey. Going to Brighton Development. Like when I'm 18, I'm making an LLC.
Oh yeah.
That way, for example, if I ever get in a fight with Matthew, I don't get sued for my money. I get sued for Brighton Development's money. So.
And you don't make any money off of Brighton Development. There you go.
Exactly. That way, if Matthew starts to strike my channel, I don't have anything to lose. Except maybe performance of potential.
Where are the servers even located? I forgot where they.
What?
I forgot where Manthi's servers are located.
Manthi's like servers for vape?
Yeah, I think it's overseas. I think.
Doesn't need to be overseas. It's not like he's like doing anything illegal. Well, technically he is. It's against the what's it called? TO, like EULA for Mojang. And it goes against the licensing. So technically, if Mojang wanted to sue him, and honestly, they'd have a pretty good case for suing him. You know how much money he makes off that crap?
Probably in the millions.
Yes, no, he makes millions a year selling cheats. I guarantee that, like, Mojang will eventually get to suing him. Mark my words, 2 years, there's a court case against Manthi. And he gets sued for, like, half of his profit.
Boy, Dawson.
Yeah. What's up?
Your mic is duplicating on stream.
Oh, my bad. Okay, that's fixed. I accidentally had the mic on my phone on. Hi, Braden.
Hold on.
Nice hand. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't looking at chat. I'm really completing this as alerts instead of... Okay, I'm not answering questions on stream. I can only do one thing at a time.
Okay, finally I'm checking for creative now.
Alright, I'm skidding. That's right. Let me go to my old car utils because there are certain things in there that I don't want to go through the trouble of looking through Minecraft code again. So let's go ahead and grab that.
Hey guys, back with another tutorial on how to skid.
Hey! Stop making fun of me.
It's an MC Market tutorial.
Hey, it's an MC. Exactly. That's how it is. That is how it is. Straight up, like.
Put your own plugin.
Yeah, no, I know, right? Straight up, go on github.com/funkymonkey and just take everything on there and blop it into one resource. Sell it for like $60.
Advanced packet system.
Advanced packet system, exactly. Okay. That we shall skid.
What the class name is cc.funkymonkey? I don't know what that means.
CC. Actually, are you even watching the stream, 20?
Yeah, I'm Kerman.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. The package name's on there. I feel dumb now. I don't even know my own package names. Confirm skid. By the way, package names are like folders. That's all they are. It's like folders. You know how you like have a desktop and a document?
Basically folders.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. Okay. Yeah, I know, right? What else do I need to take? Should I just hopefully that triggers people. Please. Last time I remember on stream, I was just taking shit from janitor, and people actually believed I used anything from there. I thought that was funny. I think that was the highlight of my streams, where people actually went away from it, and it's like, "Hey, skid! Janitor skid! Ah!" Yeah.
Kari's just a big skid of janitor.
Yeah, it's just a big skid of janitor. Not to mention that, oh my god. Oh yeah, I don't think I mentioned this, at least on stream. Like, I got in a call with Tenebrous, which I really wish he didn't have clout, and he like got like, I don't know, is he almost at 100,000 subs? What is he at?
I don't care.
No, I want to know because I really like
in the Minecraft PvP community.
No, he's more just like. He's more just like,
yo guys,
really, really, really like too into just like, I don't know, what's it called? What am I trying to say? He's really into, too deep into certain things. Like, how Hypixel could end cheating. Like, you know how they could...
Yo guys, what is going on?
Like, seriously.
Yo guys, what is...
And then he's like, I don't know, I bet he's like, just use Badline client.
My opinion. So first up, we're going to be talking about why the cheater problem is not basically impractical on the server. Now, I'm going to channels which, you know, promote these cheats. This is a direct method which directly attacks the cheats themselves and makes it so using cheats are basically impractical on the server. Now I'm going to be talking a little bit since Hypixel doesn't seem to be struggling at all.
Hold on, we're actually just gonna, you know what? Screw coding this stream. I'm gonna react to Tenebrous. We're changing the stream title to Reacting to Tenebrous. Reacting to Tenebrous videos. I want to see how he can say how he makes cheating impractical on Hypixel. I really want to know, and I hope he says Badline Client. They can't afford that shit. You know how much it costs per player? They get like 80,000 players, and 30,000 of those players, by the way, play Skyblock.
Yeah.
Imagine paying $30,000 a month for Skyblock players. Imagine that.
All financially.
Imagine that half the people in the server won't even use.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and mute my sound real quick. Okay.
However, I have seen in the past, such as servers such as MCSG and others that have basically succumbed to the cheater problem. Another example of this would be Kohi, which Purples has literally said that the reason why Kohi shut down was the community complaining about cheaters and the community being toxic.
Purples did not shut down Kohi because people complaining about cheaters. He was complaining about the fact that literally everyone would just say the N-word over and over and over again and be hella racist and just dox and swatting threats and just a bunch of illegal shit that went on there and a bunch of pedos who played that. That's why he sold it to Badline. Because he didn't want to deal with that shit anymore. Okay, let's continue.
Toxic because there were so many cheaters. So, in my opinion, I think that this problem of cheaters needs to be addressed on a more fundamental level besides just having the superficial watchdog anti.
Superficial watchdog anti-cheat. Okay.
Because there's a certain limit to how much you can detect.
Certain limit to how much you can detect. I wonder if he knows what that limit is. By the way, this is like someone who goes around and explains stuff that other people tells him, but like he takes it to an extreme to where it becomes very misleading, and people regard him as someone who's intelligent, but really he's just like a mouthpiece. But like, it's like playing telephone. He plays telephone with people who actually know what they're talking about, and so it's misconstrued, and sometimes like whenever I want to watch his channel just to get angry, that's what I do.
Server side. I mean, that's just completely expected because Minecraft only has sample sizes of 50 ms.
Okay. So he says like you can only really do things with 50 ms. Like, which really, I'm going to be honest with you, the fact that it's limited to 50 ms actually makes it easier to detect things. Because I'm going to give you an example here. Let's say a Bluetooth mouse like this, okay? This probably refreshes probably not even at 500 hertz. So that gives me a window of 2 milliseconds. Now the problem is that for me to process that much data, that would be a huge pain in the ass because I would have to go ahead and put that all on the list. And really it wouldn't matter because even then, no one clicks past 20 CPS anyways. No one does. And arm animation is completely asynchronous. And this is what he doesn't understand is that like this, I get sent the exact same data. It's within a window of 50 milliseconds, but you can send it faster if you really wanted to. Some clients make the mistake of that, but that's the thing. It's just like, why? Like, how do you think people are able to detect 30 CPS above 20? You dipshit. Oh my god, I'm triggered. I'm triggered. You staffed a server that had anti-cheats that detected things above that. You don't have a window of 50 milliseconds. Who told you this? Why am I watching this? I'm too much of a fucking geek. Now I feel like I'm being a hypocrite for getting angry at shit like this. Okay.
Talk about what a possible solution to this could be. So recently, Badline Client 2.0 was...
Damn it, he did say Badline Client. Fuck. Stop. You want to know what I can do with Badline Client? Here, let me just open it up. Let's open it up. Granted, let's be real, it is not an anti-cheat unless they pay for it. But considering that Hypixel is not going to pay for it, they might get a deal, but they're not going to pay for it. And they have their own development team at their own disposal. And if they really wanted to, they'd probably pay the people who work on Badline Client a lot more, steal them from the developers of Badline Client, and make them their own shit. That's likely what they would do because they're a huge ass company. And granted, like, Badline's owned by a huge esports company now. But like, they don't care. That's the difference.
And Badlion
They're not putting their
2.0
money
is
into Minecraft anymore because Microsoft doesn't give a crap about it.
Basically a client-side anti-cheat, which prevents cheaters from injecting cheats into their game.
Oh, he just said it prevents cheaters from injecting into the game. Now it's a good time to open up Badlion Client and see how I can prove that wrong. Because he thinks BAC prevents it from injecting into the game. Now, I am not joining a BAC server because I'm not going to get unbanned because it will detect like light specifically. But there are Badlion specific clients that do get away with it. And the problem with this is that it inherently makes it harder. And it makes it sort of like making a CSGO cheat, which is a lot harder because it's much easier to make a cheat on Minecraft. But even then, when you have people with the skill to make a cheat that it can inject into the Badlion Client and bypass, you have people with the skill to make it bypass on the server side too. So we're going to go ahead and just go on my test server. All right, and then let's just go to best website, vape.gg. 10 out of 10 website. I hate the fucking developer, but unfortunately everyone uses this client. The bearded man can die. Okay. Sweet. Login. Seems like his website's getting hit off by a lot of people because it asked me. Okay, to verify. Where's Vape Light? There we go. Let's just download this really quickly. Okay. lrv.exe. Minecraft Forge is required to run. If you cannot resolve this issue, please continue. Really? Are you sure about that? Vape Light? Why aren't you injecting into this? You used to be able to. You don't need Forge? Am I about to be proved wrong? Oh no. Oh no. It doesn't need Forge. You can inject into anything you want. What the fuck? Methy! You got paid off, didn't you? You motherfucker. You motherfucker. You got paid off. Whatever. Apparently he made Vape into a Forge mod. I wish I could download an older version, but I don't think that's happening. See if I have an older version of my documents. I'm about to commit. Please don't. Oh, okay, I think that's it. Oh, that's Manthy Clicker. What the fuck? Damn it. Okay. I guess Manthy stopped supporting anything other than Forge. So, Manthy, you're a shit developer. Fuck you. Okay. If I had Drip and I wasn't banned from it, I'd probably be able to inject. Anyways. Let's continue on. There's probably more things to get triggered at. But, point stands, just because Manthy's a shit developer doesn't mean there's other things. That there isn't other things.
Or any type of cheat that you might think of for this game, it basically prevents them from using any of them.
Wait, any other cheat you can think of?
Might think of for this game.
The most commonly used one, an auto clicker, because no one wants to click like this on their mouse all the time. Oh wow, look at that! I'm clicking as fast as I can. Yeah, that's why you use an auto clicker. So okay. Okay, well now we open up Manthy Clicker. Sweet. I've been saved by Tenebrous being dumber. Alright. Let's just... Left clicker. Okay. How do... I hate you, Manthy, for making such a horrible auto-clicker. Why? Why don't you click? Bind to window. Off. That's probably the problem. Yeah, there we go. Clicks just fine. Clicks just fine. Okay, continuing. Alright, anyways, explain why I'm doing this. Basically, Tenebrous came into my Discord and he's like, hey, by the way, can you call me? And he's like, hey, can you go ahead and remove your videos of you showing off your horizontal velocity and like, what other thing, in your motion check? Because skids are going to start detecting it. And then it's like, one, the things I posted, skids, like, I don't know why you're worried about skids. And then he's like, oh, okay. So, by the way, why did you skid them from Lucky? And then I'm like, what? Like, oh, you just randomly uploaded them to your channel immediately, like, randomly after he made them. And I'm just like, okay. And then he's like, I'm getting really pissed off because you're just not taking it down. Like, I asked you to take it down, but you're not taking it down. And it's like, whoa, hold up. I'm not gonna just take it down because you ask. You wanna force me to take it down, file a DMCA claim or something like that, and then get in trouble with YouTube because it's knowingly false. But like, jeez, like he thinks, I don't know why he thought like just because he asked me I would remove it, but like, because his logic, because I post a video on something without an open test server, people can automatically tell how a check works, especially since there are skids he's talking about. Which by default, if someone is skidding cheats, like a client, they don't want to take the time to figure out how things work. So, yeah.
Their game or auto-clicking or any type of cheat that you might think of for this game.
Oh, he did say auto-clicking, so I didn't have to misconstrue what he said.
It basically prevents them from using any of them, and it does it from a client-sided perspective, which is to deal with. So now that I've gone over basically how this client-side anti-cheat will stop cheaters, now I'm going to talk a little bit about why Hypixel should implement this client-side anti-cheat and how to incentivize people to use it on their servers. Now,
I think Tenebrous is being paid by GBerry to incentivize people to use Badline on their servers. It's not free. Does he not understand that you have to pay for it to actually be an anti-cheat? Because without it, it's the equivalent of using a mod pack, like on Forge or something, like where there's no cheat protection. Like, I don't think he understands that. That's a little misleading. I don't like that. Now,
as everyone knows, Ranked Skywars has a humongous cheater problem. Now,
the reason Ranked Skywars on Hypixel has a huge cheater problem is because it's an 80,000 player network, and only 200 people play it out of 80,000. Like, that's where all the cheaters focus, because people like you complain about it. People don't cheat because, like, and by the way, they're blatant. The people like he posts on his channel like are really blatant. But like, they do that to like trigger people like him. It's like they don't do it to, like, I don't know. I'm sure some of them do that try to look legit, but like most of the time, it's really just caused by people like just cheating blatantly because it's funny. Hoping to get on, of course, Tenebrous' channel because it's like, hey, haha, I killed him. So it's like, yeah. I wonder if it would be less of a problem if he didn't bitch about it so much. And he just bitched about it privately to the Hypixel developers. Huh. Maybe they'd be more apt to listen to him because he didn't put them on blast.
A way that Hypixel...
Though I should also mention that, in defense to Tenebrous, like, the way they're doing things on there is not ideal. So basically, they do have a new developer working on it, Orange, and he's at least a little bit more competent because he actually does work with the Minecraft client on a regular basis because he's a Forge client, a Forge mod developer. But like, it's not much better. They're still going with the notion where they hard code each value using their neural network, but it's like, every single time it gets patched, you change a couple of values and it bypasses again. So it wouldn't be such a huge problem if they actually like put effort into it. Which that's the problem. And I don't know if it's effort based or if it's like knowledge based. I'm going to assume effort because I have a feeling that like they would be able to hire someone who'd have and put resources into it, but I think they don't, because for the majority of their network, they're not PvP based, and the areas that are not like player versus player based, they don't get donations in that player versus player space. They get it in spots, I mean, maybe in like Bed Wars, but it's not as popular as it was. Like, their main thing that's driving, like, literally their Skywars game, it could be an entire network and it'd still be larger than every single other network out there. Like, think of that for a second. So, like, I mean, That's why I don't know why he bitches about it.
Extra rating.
Let me go to a video where he doesn't bitch about Hypixel and where he starts how to get better reach in Minecraft PvP. Isn't he the one who like bitches at people for making videos like this?
Hey guys, what's going on? Tenebrous here. Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be going over something which I touched on a few years ago, but I didn't really go in depth about, and that is actually how to legitimately get better reach and better hits in Minecraft. Now, I know I've explained reach a few times in my channel before, but I never really went in depth about how to actually improve your reach distance. Now, I know this might sound, off for some people because I know I've been adamant that Minecraft reaches 3 blocks, but please stick with me. That is still true. However, you can do certain things in-game to improve the distance you're actually able to attack someone from, and I'll explain in 1 second. Now, before I get into that, I just wanted to explain that a lot of these programs and a lot of these tutorials on the internet about how to get better reach.
1. The actual Regedit programs or like things like that would work. Not all of them do, and most of them are scams. But to have a program that improves your reach, what it would have to do is it would have to get your ping in the range of like 100 milliseconds. And it doesn't really improve your reach. It improves the perception of it. Because basically, the actual like player versus player action in Minecraft is flawed. And that's why in 1.9 they changed the combat to, instead of spamming, it's really based on accuracy of clicking. And that way they get rid of the problem of latency. Because if you're fighting a player with like 400 MS and you have like 20, and if they get you inside a large combo, you're not getting out of that. They're like 5 blocks away from you on your screen because they're 400 milliseconds behind the server. And so they're going to be delayed. On their screen, you're right next to them, but on yours, you're far away. That's why when you fight someone who's laggy and they seem to not be able to hit you even though they're looking at you, when you get them in sort of a combo on your own, is because on their screen, you're farther. You're 5 blocks away from them, but on your screen, you're right next to them. And that's the difference. And I sincerely hope he mentions that in this video. And the reason why I say 100 MS is best is because you don't need more than that to have the same effect, and you don't want to have so high to where if you get in a combo, you want to have a chance of getting out of it. So that's why having such low latency is only the case if you suck. That helps, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Because you don't want it so high to where your latency to the server, you can't do other things, and it depends on the type of thing you're playing. But for example, what he's doing right now, Pop PvP, you don't want to have it too high because entities are controlled and calculated, and their trajectories are calculated on the server side instead of on the client side. So that's why you don't want to have so much delay to it, because it won't spawn until like however much your ping is. So anyways, let's continue watching. That's my expectation for this video. For him to be correct, he has to mention ping. Anything else he mentions is going to be bullshit.
They don't really actually do anything. Like, as I said before, Regedit does very little in terms of reach.
If you edit their registry to add latency, which, by the way, is probably the dumbest way to do it, the easiest way to do that is just download a program called clumsy.exe. And what you can do is you can actually, here, I'll open it up right now. You can go ahead and, like, open this up, and you can make it per port. So you don't even have to do it system-wide. You can just open this and configure it for a specific port. So, for example, if you're playing on, like, Mime and Clever one out like he is, you set the port to 25565, and it'll go ahead and it'll delay the packets for only 25565. Now, it isn't opening because Windows sucks, and I have to click Run as Administrator, but that's that.
.bat file is going to do basically nothing, and a lot of these other tutorials about how to PvP.
.bat files does basically nothing. I would not open random batch files without reading them, and I learned this the hard way when I was like 10. Because batch files run scripts. They're basically a script, and they have full admin permissions if you've run it as administrator, which a lot of them require. Especially ones that do actually do things like edit the registry, because that's what they can do too. You can edit the registry through a batch file. And a batch file is sort of like a proxy to the command prompt, but it's a little bit more advanced than that. Because it's like sort of like a command prompt macro. And basically, you don't want to click that because they can do things like, I mean, granted, this was, I think, when Windows 8 was out. I bricked a computer of mine by opening a random batch file. I finally got it working again, but it was like a $200 piece of shit, so it's still sitting on a shelf. But like, still though, be careful.
He kind of ignored the facts I'm going to go over in this video. So yeah, I'm basically going to explain 2 legitimate methods of how to actually get better reach in Minecraft, and I'm going to go really in depth about.
He said 2 methods. I want to know what the method is, the second one.
Specifically, how to improve your hit. Exactly, it's not.
He talks about like what he's going to talk about in the video for like a full minute.
Shut up. Above 3 blocks reach, you're cheating. That's how box to the other player's hitbox. It's actually a ray trace from the head. Now what that means is you can basically imagine an arrow coming out from the head. The length of this vector is basically how it is meaningful. You can see arrow coming out from the head. Now if you actually go into 1.8 and press F3, you can see this arrow come out of the head.
That's the actual vector of ray tracing, but I don't believe that goes far, and I cannot remember what that's for specifically. But I believe that vector is not for hits. I think it's, I mean, oh, granted, that vector is for hits and whatnot, but like what I mean by that is that that's not the full vector. It actually goes infinitely, but they cap it. I don't know what's for specifically for performance reasons, or I think just actual feasibility to use, because this is meant for debugging for the developers. That's what the entire F3 tab is really meant for. Continuing on.
Now, the length of this vector is basically how it is meaningful to say that Minecraft's reach is equivalent to 3 blocks. However,
not really. It's not 3 blocks, but
this is a vector. Now, although the length of the vector stays static, this is static 3 blocks, the angle that the vector is from the player's eye level to the other player's hitbox changes depending on where you're looking. So therefore, you get different reach depending on where you're looking.
the reason why that line is actually changing shape is because of his FOV. He has it in fisheye mode, and he's saying that's what gives you extra reach? He complains about people who lie about this shit, but the people he complains about is more honest. Oh my god. Hey, since I want to go down to the comments to see if anyone I know responded to that.
Even though the vector itself is a continuous 3 blocks. Now you might be thinking right now, okay, Tenebrous, so it makes sense.
Wait, that line changes, but the vector itself is a continuous 3 blocks? What does that mean? He just... Okay.
Itself is a continuous 3 blocks. Now you might be thinking right now, okay, Tenebrous, so it makes sense. Your reach is going to be 3 blocks, but you can actually increase your reach by looking in specific areas and therefore get better reach in your opponent. Now, where exactly is the...
I think he misspoke there. I think he meant like, because you don't always get 3 blocks like all the time. And it really just depends on when you click. And it's like totally time-based, like whether or not like where you get in the position, because rarely anyone actually hits someone from 3 blocks away. But I think what he means there is like where you're likely going to be able to hit the farthest, and that just depends on where the player is relative to you.
The optimal location to aim on your opponent. Now, first of all, we're going to talk about the vertical angle first, and then we're going to go into the horizontal angle later. Now,
the reach does not vary from 3 blocks, Dukes. You know that. Stop trolling me. It's a static value. I'll go to the exact place it's in the code.
Take a look at this. So you can see that the Minecraft reach vector is actually at its longest outwards from the hitbox when the player who's, reaching is at approximately 0 pitch. Now, pitch is basically a measurement in Minecraft.
No. It is not always when it's at 0 pitch. It's only if the player is directly in front of you. Technically, that is where it's at its greatest. But for example, you know what? I'm about to go whiteboard on this to explain it. I'm about to go flip a whiteboard. That's the effort. That is the effort I'm gonna go into right now. Here, hold on. Let's just zoom in there. We're going whiteboard. Ooh, my face. Let's zoom out a little bit. I can't get in a good angle. I need to get a better stand for my phone. Okay. We are getting a nice little marker. And we are going to explain what it actually is. I don't know why I'm doing it, but considering the fact that 58,000 people subscribe to him, I feel like I kind of have to. Where the hell is my 2 Expo erasers? I lost them already. God damn it. Oh, there is one. Okay. Oh, great. And Expo dry erase markers just don't erase when you leave them on there. Okay. Good to know. So, let's see here. Hi. This is me. Hi. This is my opponent. As you see, he's 1.86 blocks high. And I'm 1.86 blocks high. As you can see there. Now, let's say I'm looking up here. Cool. If I look straight, I can hit him. That's 3. Now, for example, let's say, for example, he's not in front of you, and he's right here. Oh, I can't hit him. Well, it doesn't matter if he's not 3 blocks away because you can still hit him from there. Technically, it doesn't increase anything. Technically, yeah, if you look up, it's all relative. So even then, if he's saying, like, I know you can't explain it well, and I know it's hard to explain, but, like, that's why you use visuals.
You're so smart and witty, Dawson.
Yeah. I love you too, Carter.
Handsome.
Give me a kiss.
No.
Okay. Let's get back to watching this.
Monkey Monkey confirmed homosexual. You just kiss your whiteboard.
No, I didn't kiss my whiteboard. I'm sitting down. Okay. Back to video. Oh, I didn't have it up there. Here. You know what? We'll leave this diagram up there. Me. Bad guy with 2 heads on his foot. I definitely didn't draw a penis. See? 3. Doesn't matter. 3. Doesn't matter. Okay. Diagram's up there. Diagram's up there. We're keeping that. What's that one creature that can go to Mach 5? That would... Hey, Carter, what's that one creature that can go to Mach 5 you did for your biology class? Carter! Carter! Sorry, Grandma. Oh, okay. Come here, Carter. What was that one creature that you did for your biology class that can go to Mach 5?
The piranha and the cheetah. The Tirana.
Oh, yeah, right. The Tirana. That's right. Is that a school shirt? Yes, it is. I'm doxxed now. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's go back to my normal size, which is on the corner of the screen. There we go. That's more.
Which is basically.
Oh my! The dog's there, dude.
Don't open it up.
You just crushed Maggie.
I didn't crush her head. I realized. I was worried. Maggie, come here, girl.
No, you killed her.
Okay.
She's dead. She doesn't exist anymore.
Okay. Hi, Maggie. I'm very sorry. You scared me. Yeah, she's going to bed. She's tired. Okay. I'll rage quietly now. It'll be ASMR.
where you're looking on the vertical axis. Now there's yaw and pitch. Yaw is the horizontal axis and pitch is the vertical axis. Now in Minecraft, pitch goes from -90 when you're looking straight up all the way down to 90 when you're looking straight down, and you can see right in the middle is exactly where you get 0 pitch. Now in 1.8 you can see on the top left, you can see two numbers. It says towards -x and then two numbers. The first number there is your yaw, which changes on the horizontal movement, and your second number there is your pitch. Now what you want to do is you basically want to keep your pitch as close as possible to 0, and that way your vector coming from your hitbox goes the farthest possible distance outwards. Now here's a quick demonstration of what I'm talking about. So if I press F3, you can see my pitch. Now my pitch right here is around 20. You can see I'm not able to attack the opponent. However, if I decrease my pitch to 0 or near 0, 0.5 here, 0.3.
Please describe the math of this, because I'm starting to lose my
Horizontal
mind.
angles are known as yaw. So if you turn in a circle, your yaw varies from -180 to...
Oh, is this the second reason?
To try to keep their pitch right at that 0 mark.
Hold
to get
on.
the maximum amount of reach.
Please tell me how
Go
yaw
again.
increases
No reach,
speed.
and
I
boom,
mean
reach.
reach. Oh yeah, by the
Now,
way,
in
you aim
Minecraft,
for
there
it.
is not just vertical
Nope.
angle changes, there's also
come on,
horizontal
come on,
angle
come on,
changes, and
come
these
on.
horizontal angles are known as yaw. So if you turn in
Yeah,
a
you don't
circle,
wanna
your
open that.
yaw
You don't
varies
wanna
from
get your dots on the
-180 to
internet.
180. For some reason, it's like that, not 0 to 360, but, you know, it's just Minecraft.
My
okay?
whiteboard
That's the
fell
way they
down.
did it. Now, as for the horizontal angle, if
Okay,
you're
we'll keep
looking
that down
directly towards the player's hitbox, like if the player's hitbox is directly facing you, then you have a very slight advantage if you look at the center of the hitbox versus the edge. For example, look at this right here. If I try to click the edge of the hitbox, I cannot actually attack the player, but if I move to the center, I can attack it.
Why? So, basically, he's at an angle. If he was perfectly straight, that wouldn't be the problem. That's because it's not a it's a box, and he's at an angle with it. That's why when he looks to the...
And that's because of the horizontal angle. However, the horizontal angle is less of an issue versus the vertical angle because the player's hitbox is more vertically based than horizontally. But more importantly in Minecraft...
Yes, because a player's not a fucking chode. It's a schlong. That's why it's more vertically based.
PvP, you're quite unlikely to actually be in the direct path in front of the hitbox. You're more likely to be in the corners or, you know, maybe at some weird angle. And you can see that as I move around the player, you know, obviously the hitbox is a square, it does not smoothly change specifically where I'm able to hit. So, for example, there's areas like the corners that stick out from the hitbox, and there's flat areas, it's obviously a rectangle. And also, if the player who I'm fighting moves in a circle, the hitbox literally stays identical. The only thing it can do is basically move their position. They can actually not really do anything other than change their angle to you. But in general, you basically have something where you can actually get more reach depending on where you're looking on the hitbox, depending on where the hitbox is facing. So for example, with my players right here, you can see that there's an area of the hitbox which sticks out. Now, obviously where my angle is, that's right in the middle of the player, but if I move to the left a little bit, you can see that this area that sticks out is actually closer to the side. So now you can see that there's an area of the hitbox, if I'm at this 45-degree angle from the opponent, which actually sticks out. Now, this is something different than the angle. This is basically the fact that when you're changing your yaw from side to side, it isn't always 100% better to go into the center of the player's hitbox. Like, for example, right here, you can see that on the sides, obviously, here, it's better to go in the center because the hitbox is sticking out. Now, if I move to the left here, you can see that it's actually better to hit on the right-hand side of the player versus the left-hand side, and it doesn't actually, I mean, in the middle it's kind of good, but I think the maximum distance is right here on the far right.
Yes.
But you can also reach over there. For example, on the left-hand side you can't because the hitbox is farther away from you here than it is over here, but on the right-hand side it's perfectly possible to hit the opponent. So therefore, it's better to basically aim at where the hitbox is closest to you. So to see that, you basically press F.
You wanna know what's funny? Is that what you're seeing there would be completely impractical in fights. When it's standing still, it's easy, but in a fight, that's impractical for multiple reasons. Why I say that is because this is not the problem usually in fights. 0.1 does not make any difference. The reason it doesn't make a difference is because the player is moving. And the reason why I say that is because no practice server sets their velocity below 0.1 to where this would make a difference. Each and every tick, they are at least moving 0.4 blocks a second on a practice server with speed 2, which is what he's exempling of. If you are doing, for example, Build UHC where there's generally no speed, that may help, but like rarely. And so this is like not a good tip. I hope he mentions ping. Please mention. I hope he didn't use yaw. He didn't mention ping.
3 and B, and as you move around the player, you can kind of find areas where it's closer. Like, for example, if you had a 45-degree angle.
This is not what people are going to use. They're going to use ping. That's why... Okay. This is why YouTubers like Stimpy and other PvP YouTubers always have 100 ms even though they have really good internet. And I don't know whether or not it's by accident or they do it on purpose. But every single YouTuber that I've seen that I fight and I get shit on by usually has 100 ms. And the reason why that is because that is the perfect range to have to where you can get in combos and no one can get out of it, while you are not going to quick drop because you have high ping and your pots are not going to drop. So oh yeah, Dukes, they use Frozen Orb plugins. That's the funny part. Like, you should do, here, let me DM you, Dukes, really quickly. Let me give you a command to run on there. Run that. And then check each and every single plugin.
Boom, that's the maximum distance. If you have this weird angle right here, once again, the area that sticks out.
It's so shit. Why is he trying to shit talk AGC? Because he's retarded, Dukes. I ignore him. Literally, he's retarded. It's spec. Okay, so I'm just saying goodnight to a friend of mine. All right.
Of the hitbox is the best. Now, pretty much 45-degree angles from the hitbox is the best place to actually attack the enemy.
He's not entirely wrong in this video. It's just my main point is that he's talking about everything in theory. Let me go to another video where he's like, just... Ugh. There are some that improve hit detection. There's no such thing as hit detection. Well, hit detection is like when it hits, but damage is sent from the client side. It's only processed on the server side. Watch out, Funky. Spec official is superior. Exactly. Whatever. No, he complains about 1.9. Combat in Minecraft is such a minority. Quit complaining. They're never going to update. It's a vocal minority.
How the fuck do hacks get worse? What is this doing?
So, this was on a day where Watchdog was being updated. That's why everything was bypassing. You could literally, like, crash... I mean, no, you couldn't crash. There was no tuples that block that, I think. But the Watchdog detection itself was off. And even then, you can get ban waved. Watchdog operates mostly on ban waves. Why does he not know this? He plays Hypixel. You can steal that? Really? even then, they're hard coding things. The reason it probably got worse is because, I don't know, there's a new person working on it. It's a UHC disabler? Got it. I had a feeling it was game mode specific because I don't cheat on UHC. But if you want my honest opinion, why do people play UHC on Hypixel? Like, you're going to most likely die to a cheater there. Why? Why? That's where you're going to die to cheaters most often. Okay, so he explains why lag is an unfair advantage. It's not an unfair advantage. Everyone can lag. It's so easy to lag. It's not an unfair advantage. You can lag yourself. Lag. Don't.
Open the door.
You don't want to.
What are you doing?
Live streaming. Okay, you can open it.
Maggie.
Sorry, this fell. Maggie's in here.
Maggie.
You taking her out to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, she's going upstairs.
Okay. Oh, she's sleeping upstairs tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Alright. Okay. She thought I was jerking off for a second. That's funny.
Hey guys, what's going on? Tenebrous here. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about the rise of the cheating community in Minecraft and what that implies for everyone else who's not in this community, and talk about the history of it, the future of it, and kind of the effect that it has on the rest of everyone else who plays Minecraft. So first of all, what is the cheating community? Well, I think that this is really easy to define. It's basically just a YouTuber or a group of people who either develop hacked clients or record themselves using hacked clients blatantly. They're not closet cheaters. They just record themselves using hacked clients. They give tutorials on it, etc., etc. And this is either to make money or to just have fun. It doesn't really matter. But a lot of different people are involved in this community, and this has been a thing that has existed for a very long time. And before I get into this one fully, I just wanted to say that it is completely true that there will always be people who are trying to exploit the game. This happens on every single video game. So if I say I want this to go away or I want this to decrease, I'm not talking about it completely going down to zero, because obviously that is never going to happen. So the first cheating community in Minecraft was a thing a long time ago. Like, this is 8 years ago, all the way back in Minecraft beta, or even farther back depending on how far you want to trace it back. But pretty much hacked clients have existed in this game for almost ever, because this game...
Yeah, but when Minecraft beta was out, people just cheated on survival mode. But, yeah.
Has always been infinitely moddable. There's never been an anti-cheat or a significant effort from the developers to curb cheating, because that's the point of Minecraft, is it is to be moddable, and that actually helped the game grow, as I've talked about in previous videos. But basically, the idea is that a few people decided that they wanted to exploit the game, and they made videos on it. Now these people include Wizard Hacks and others who...
The clients Wizard Hacks makes videos on are really meant for servers who are dedicated for cheating, like 2B2T. I'll give him a pass on that one.
Who, again, have showcased hacked clients, as well as developers who exploited the game themselves. And this is like in 2012, 2014, most clients were like, blatant clients. There was not really a ghost client out there.
Well, there were ghost clients, but they were private. That was the difference. There wasn't anything mainstream like Vape yet. You could buy them, but there wasn't anything that you could just ask it for. It had to be like word of mouth. There was no YouTuber or anything like that. It was a very, very secret thing.
There to allow you to bypass servers without being noticed. And obviously things get better over time. I've talked about that in previous videos, but basically my point here is that this thing is a very, very old thing. Now, when I say the rise of the cheating community, what exactly do I mean? Well, there's been a...
Blatant clients were mainstream because you could just go on Mineplex and B-hop and Infinite Ore and do pretty much anything you wanted. That's why blatant clients were mainstream, because it was fun. Actually, in the olden days, I literally used to just, on my main, just kill aura and boost my stats. I did use blatant clients to boost my stats when I was actually playing. So even on Hypixel, believe it or not, I didn't get banned because there was no banning by anti-cheats. You either got blocked, and really staff members were not very active and whatnot. And I never got banned on my main. So he has a fair point that ghost clients were not popular.
A series of YouTubers over the past 2 or 3 years.
Maybe with YouTubers.
Which have propped up, gotten a lot of subscribers off this type of content, and then kind of fallen back into obscurity. An example is X-Turtle. He got a few 100,000 subscribers just from cheating in Minecraft, and then all of a sudden his videos were deleted on Hypixel, and he basically fell back into obscurity.
No, X-Turtle's channel got fucking striked off YouTube because he was sponsored by alt shops. That's what happened to FaceCam too. That's why he's obscure. It's because he doesn't exist. Yeah. Don't take sponsorships for alt shops if you don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. Just warning you, because they're technically illegal. That's why most alt shops are now only doing things through Bitcoin instead of PayPal. PayPal usually ends up going down for a while because they need to make a new PayPal and whatnot. But PayPal is not as common because PayPal is starting to crack down on it. So, yeah.
But there's actually a very, very large number of people and a growing trend of people who, instead of playing Minecraft, are just cheating on it because they think that that is the funnest part of the game. Which
it is.
Believe that the rest of the game is very boring, it's getting old, they don't want to deal with it. So they're just, instead of actually playing legitimately, they're just installing.
Granted, this is not his opinion. He doesn't think it's okay. He's not endorsing it. In fact, he specifically yells at many people for cheating. But, which I find stupid, because it is a huge part of the game, like he says. But still.
Installing hacked clients, recording themselves cheating, and then blatantly cheating. They have 1 million ults, so they can make a lot of content, and people...
Zooey, 1.7's fucking trash? Why? 1.7's awful. It's coded by a 5-year-old. Literally, they didn't even know how to use constructors. That's right. I've never wanted to support it. It needs to be gotten rid of. It's a dead version. I mean, it's like fun for PvP, and there are upsides to 1.7. For example, there's less... the rendering engine is a lot better in 1.7. They changed it in 1.8 for better FPS, but everything's a lot more choppy. So that's why I can understand why people want to use 1.7, but most servers are based on 1.8. Whether or not they allow 1.7 is up to their discretion, but I don't really play Minecraft anymore, so I don't really have much an opinion about that, or I do have an opinion, but it doesn't matter, I should say, about what's better, but purely what affects me, I hate 1.7.
To a lot of other YouTubers, but they are significant. There has been an increase over the past couple of years of the number of people who are in this community, and the people who kind of just believe that the only thing that they can do in Minecraft to have fun is to use a hacked client. And I think that this is probably just because the game is getting older. As I said before, people are getting bored of it, but pretty much it's against other...
Well, cheating's always been a huge part of Minecraft. It's not because it's getting older. The reason why it's more noticeable is because it's getting older, because there's less actual legitimate players and more cheaters. That's that.
Players who are using hacked clients. Like, for example...
but I could be wrong. That's the thing.
An HVH server, then I'm okay with that. I don't think that that is something which is unfair, because all players technically have access to these modifications.
Well, HVH servers never really took off. They're fucking trash. What does take off is Anarchy, and that's really fun. It's really fun to play, by the way. And I think I want to get back onto 2v2t because it's fun. But yeah, let's continue.
Encouraged to use these modifications.
Yeah, but Matt, cheating's a part of every game, but it's different with Minecraft because it's more embraced rather than it looked down upon in other games. And you're not going to get your account banned from Minecraft. You're going to get banned from servers. While, if you cheat on the Counter-Strike, you can get your entire HWAD banned, and you'd have to spoof that every single time you want to play. So that's why it's a lot more common in Minecraft than it is in Counter-Strike. Now it's a lot more common on Counter-Strike because the game's free, and it's easier to just get an alt. Yeah, because every idiot with a half a brain can download M6 you whether or not they can work on it.
Even by players around them. So I don't think that that is necessarily a bad thing. The problem comes when people use hacked clients on legitimate players, because that causes a lot of legitimate players to quit the game. And if you...
I think he's wrong about that. what causes players to quit the game is when people don't get banned. And specifically, it has to do with closet cheating, which I think is killing the game. Not blatant cheating. You can ban people for blatant cheating. It's really easy to tell. But when they're closet cheating, it's really hard to tell, and you need an anti-cheat for that.
Care about the community, which I know a lot of people who are using hacked clients in this game really don't, then you probably should not be hacking against legitimate players. I just don't think it's very fair for the legitimate player, and it kind of discourages them to play more. So honestly, that's my view on it. I think that the cheating community is okay as long as they're using the hacked client against other people with hacked clients.
Which is a fair point, but the fun part is because you're using it against legitimate people. And it's fun if you're using it against cheaters too in like games like 2v2t because the main focus is not cheating. I wonder if he just tried it, see how he'd like it. It's like a drug, you know. You can't stop once you do. You know what I'm talking about, Zooey, don't you?
Allows it, you should be able to do it. It's fine. It's a moddable game. You should be able to hack as long as the server allows it. If the server does not allow it, I don't think you should be doing it because it makes everyone's, existence worse. And even for people who don't really care about the community, they have to realize that if they keep...
Okay, this is him just bitching. We're gonna go to a different video. Oh, this is where I'm gonna get triggered. I don't think I should watch that because that's opinion based. I can understand why people think Looter Client's a Bitcoin miner. It uses way too much GPU. It's a fair point. He hasn't really made an explanation video in a while. I want to see where he says, no, he probably doesn't do that for Lunar Client. He'd be really dumb to say that it didn't. I want to see if the person
Hello everyone, network engineer here. Welcome back to the channel, and
I'm done. We're done with that one. We're done with that one. I sincerely hope Hytale doesn't get sued by Mojang. Or by Microsoft. I bet they will. I bet they will get sued on the ground of copyright. Because they have an argument for infringing their copyright as an idea. We'll see. I want to see how that pans out. Depends. If it's just a modding game with similar style and whatnot. It's called Brave. I don't really recommend it. I just use it when I'm on YouTube. I use Firefox mainly. Don't use Brave. I actually don't trust this browser much, which is why I don't use it for anything privacy related. I just use it because it's not Google. I want to see where he explains something. Please tell me where he explains something. Oh my god. Yes.
Hey guys, what's going on? Tenebrous here. Welcome back to the channel. So before I get into the video today...
It's a clickbait title meant to make me click it. I think that's why he has it like that. It might actually be smart. Who knows? Who knows?
I wanted to basically tell you guys that I do not...
But I don't have high expectations.
...condone or support any activities which I'm going to be describing in this video. This is purely for the public's and kind of the anti-cheater community. Basically, alert the community that this is a bad thing and it needs to be basically noticed. Now with that out of the way, I wanted to just get to the crux of the video first, and that is the fact that unfortunately Hypixel is no longer able, or should not, personally in my opinion, ban players with first-person reach evidence. Well, that's basically...
Oh yeah, misplace. Yeah. But even then, first person is never really
evidence which is recorded from someone who's playing ranked Skywars or playing Skywars or playing Misplace. And I've talked about this cheat several times on the channel before.
Yeah, fake Misplace. Yeah, no, that's a fair point. That's what he's really going to talk about. I don't even need to watch that. That's a fair point. I want to see what he has to say in this video.
Hey guys, what's going on? Tenebrous here. Welcome back to the
Oh, God.
Channel. So today we're going to be talking about another very common argument leveled at 1.8 PvPers by 1.9 supporters. And that is the claim, in essence, that 1.8 PvP and below is basically just all spam clicking, and therefore it should be gotten rid of because spam clicking requires no skill. Now,
that argument, that is false. That spam clicking requires no skill. But I want to see what he has to say.
I've already responded to the specific claim that 1.8 PvP requires no skill, and I basically demonstrated how it's practically impossible for that to be the case, and of course people had some responses like it's the gaming setup or whatever, which basically just avoids the question, and
that is the argument I was going to have, that it's the actual setup. It's not, oh, he means gaming setup like the mouse you have. No. Actually, the reason why I think 1.8 requires no skill, it does to an extent, but the reason why skill eventually is not the main factor of who actually wins in a fight, it's who hits first, who has roughly 100 MS, who has the higher ping, and who can get in a combo. And basically all you need to do to keep someone in a combo is have 200 MS and just strafe to the right. And they won't be able to hit you at all. So, and in 1.8, spam clicking is actually sort of nerfed because I don't believe it has an effect as much when you click really fast. I think it's like the effect sort of becomes unnoticeable after like 10 CPS. Well, like on 1.7, if I clicked like 100, I would consistently have my velocity multiplied by 0.6 or reduced by like a multiplicator, or whatever the word is, by 0.6. But continuing.
That's still not an adequate answer. Obviously, 1.8 PvP requires skill, but I have not really gone over the specific criticism that 1.8 PvP is just spam clicking, and because it's spam clicking, it's a bad thing or it requires less skill. Now, first,
okay, this is an opinion argument. I don't need to watch it. He's gonna say the same thing over and over and over again. You're a vocal minority. Why are you a vocal minority? Well, let's see why you're a vocal minority, Tenebrous. Let's just go here. Oh. What does the majority of the game use? At me. I hate this version too. I would rather people play 1.12. But at me. Where does Mojang make their money? Where do they make the money? This big red version. You see it here? What's one? Oh. Wait, where's 1.7? Oh, it's all the way back here at 1.7%. Oh. I mean, I get it. But, like, I don't like the newer PvP either, but in some ways it's better. Some ways it's worse. But no one's gonna fucking listen to you because Microsoft's Pi is latest version of Minecraft. So, there's that. Sorry. And 1.14.4 is an objectively worse spigot all around. So, just saying. Just saying. Just saying. There's nothing you're going to be able to do, unfortunately. Sorry. Sorry. I wish, but
hey guys, what's going on? Aim Assist Press here. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about how to see aim assist and in the first person. The fact that infecting killer will look like.
Oh, that's
what
cute.
exactly do I mean by that? I mean, like, if you use the hacked client, if you most of the time angle that the person is and stuff, and your head is snapping aimbot in the third person point of view is to check But how are you sure that they are 100% using aimbot and not, just on high sensitivity? Now, one of the easiest ways to see aimbot in the third-person point of view is to check where the player who is suspected of aimbot is looking. Lots of aimbots will actually lock on to the head of the opponent if the two players...
Well, he shouldn't include aim assist. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. But if it's an actual good killer arm, what it will do is it'll stop aiming at the player the moment it's within a little bit of its bounding box, and that'll actually prevent a lot of its detection. Specifically blatant wise, but if you use that kind of killer without it switching all the time, you're likely not going to get banned off Hypixel. But not by video at least.
Are on the same Y level, because that is the most direct path to the opponent, so it will look at effectively zero pitch.
Well, it wouldn't even matter because most anti-cheats don't actually use the ray tracing to actually detect reach. So all you really need to do is just bump up the reach.
Which means that
any server you're using a killer on, I should mention, is not going to or an aimbot on is not really going to have a good reach check. So unless it's like AGC where it's like nothing fucking bans because Dukes is a head ass and doesn't like shit the ban shit.
Someone who is basically locking on to just below the head of the opponent, you'll know that they're using aimbot. Now another...
Didn't he actually like make a suggestion in his later videos that you should lock on to that because you get better reach? So am I going to be able to tell people use aimbot because they look at their head? Please give me a visual example. Don't explain it, Tenebrous. Where do you have a visual example? I have a feeling I'm being a little bit nitpicky by attacking you for explaining something improperly without a visual example, because I would do the same thing. You need a visual example. Where do you have it? Where are you not playing fucking duels? Where are you not playing duels? Where are you not playing duels? Give an example. Give an example. I have a feeling I'm just being nitpicky. Fucking give a... He's not giving a visual example. Yeah. How do you see cheats? Here's what you'd look for. Spec, shut the fuck up. I don't use that shit in my reach check and I detect 3.02. Really? Do you even know what a polynomial is? You fucking retard. What's a polynomial? What polynomial do I use? Do you know what a polynomial is? It's very broad. What am I using the Pythagorean theorem for? Am I using it to just look at the angle of the player and where they're looking? Because that seems like a very inefficient way of doing it, doesn't it? Really? What do I use the Pythagorean theorem for? Answer that. Answer it. Here, let me increase my face so you can look at me in my eyes. Seriously. I would like to know. I would like to know. What will you be using the Pythagorean theorem for? What would you be using it for? I'd love to know. Your source is on fucking Spigot. Half your aura checks are move checks. Look at this head ass. Do you know what a polynomial is, Spec? Because I know. The only thing you use a polynomial for is the equation for the Pythagorean theorem. You don't use sine graphs. And those aren't polynomials. Those are functions. Sine and cosine is not a polynomial. It is trigonometry. Or a function. A plus B equals C. That's wrong. It's A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Very different. Guess the distance between the sides of the hitboxes. That is inaccurate. And as I said, that is wrong. It's inaccurate. How are you going to figure out where they're hitting inside the hitbox? It would be different. Like good old Tenebrous figured out. It's not going to be hitting the same depending on where you're looking. Really? I can type squared. Let me do it right now. X squared. Or A squared plus B squared equals C squared. I did it. Well, I didn't type it right, but I did it somehow. I typed an exponent. Oh, shut up. Inside the hitbox. What would I be trying to figure out? What? See, the hitbox, it has 4 points. You have 3 different... Actually, sorry, hitboxes have 6 vectors. Min X, min Y, min Z. Max X, max Y, max Z. So, how would you use the Pythagorean theorem to figure that out? Where would you do it? And not to mention, why would I look at the hitbox to find where they hit? How would I figure out what point did they hit the hitbox at? Where, Spec? Where? Yeah. I think I lost you. Alright. Back to Tenebrous. I want to find where he's explaining things, but unfortunately he just exposes too many cheaters. I want to find where he puts it. God damn it! Don't implement BAC. Stop it! Stop it. Okay. This I want to know.
Yo guys, what's going on? Tenebrous here. Welcome back to the channel.
60-minute video.
You might be like, oh whoa, Tenebrous is playing Bed Wars again, and you are completely correct. We are going back to the Bed Wars series. Topic in kind of like these long form ones aren't really, something I can really record on Bed Wars because they're kind of something. However, I should be uploading them.
Talk about your upload schedule on Twitter, or people who actually care about it.
Minutes, and it's the most annoying thing ever. That guy's probably eliminated. Bye bye. See you later. Have a nice day. Anyway, I like this bed protection because it kind of and it's just gonna take too long. And by the time they break it, I'll already be back at the base if I'm out somewhere. So yeah, pretty good bed defense. All right, video kind of about this topic on a previous Bed Wars commentary. However, I would like to elaborate a little bit on it and kind of, talk about a few different things that I did not touch on in that commentary. And the first thing I'm going to touch on is the lag problem. And now in that commentary, I kind of talked about how like the servers were limited by ticks and like, the server can't actually...
Not if you're reading packets before they hit NMS. It's called injecting into a channel. It's very simple. It's what I do. It's open source. You can see how.
See people using name tags and stuff because it's just completely client-side and the server's limited in those 2 respects. However, I did not touch on the fact that the server also has a problem with people lagging in terms of the server.
It's very easy to fix, actually. But
server-side anti-cheat has a problem with people lagging, essentially.
So you know how you check if someone's lagging? You can check if someone's lagging on the server side. You can actually match up their packets to their ping pretty well. You can match up exactly what they see on the screen with their ping pretty well. It is not hard. It really grinds my gears that you...
So, what do I mean by that? I mean, the server can't really tell if the person is lagging or if the person is cheating.
Server can't tell if the person is lagging, the person is cheating. What? What? What's the server looking for? What's the server looking for?
I mean, they can, but if the person is very high MS, it's very difficult for them to tell.
Why do people think that high ping is the reason why anti-cheats can't see shit? It's not ping. It's not ping. It's not ping. Of all things, ping is the easiest to account for. Of all things. There are so many ways to check for it. And the easiest way to account for it is just counting backwards. If I have 600 ms, I get the packets from, or whatever the data I need to put in from 600 milliseconds ago. It's not hard. It's easy to account for, and it works. Box has 6 points, you retard. 6 vertices. Or, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. What? Why does it only have 6 points? Whatever, I'm focusing on Tenebrous.
Now, it is kind
Oh,
of...
right, I was going to say. The main reason that causes lag is actually when people skip ticks. I can have extremely high ping to a server, but has an extremely stable connection. So that's the thing. Yeah.
True that the server, can tell if they are using kind of like probabilistic measurements, like to detect like reach and stuff, but it's not
probabilistic measurements. So we just guess. Is that what he's saying? Is that he's saying we just guess? I mean, you know what? It's basically what we do. But it's called an educated guess, and it's not probability. It's using math to predict. And it's, when I say predict, I don't mean ooh, advanced smega shmega. Ooh, advanced mega. Input X, Y, Z, and we get out ME equals MC squared, hibbity hibbity ba. No, it's really simple. It's called subtract 600 milliseconds. And there you go. You have exactly where they hit. Granted, there's a margin of error, but you can account for that easily. So, again, wrong. Why would you go ahead and make a client-side anti-cheat where the cheater has the most control? The cheater has the most control because he can modify any single little piece of information on his PC that it sends out. So here's the thing, is that when you are making a client-side anti-cheat, you have no single guarantee of what information comes back is actually legitimate. And that is how clients bypass client-side anti-cheats. And other methods too. There are easier ways to do it than just modifying packets. And there are ways to check if packets are modified. For example, you check the actual hash code of it or whatnot, and blah, 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 blah. Other things, not a class anti-cheat developer, but these are ideas that I have. I could be wrong. But what I'm saying is that when you are trying to detect a cheat in its own playing field, you're going to have a harder time. It's going to be easier to bypass. When you have it on the server side, it's much harder to debug, especially if it's more obscure. So security by obscurity, flawed, but eventually things will bypass, so you have time. And then not to mention that you can't just directly modify packets with you can modify packets by when they send, you can modify what they input, but that's the thing, is that cheating itself, when you modify the packets, that's what's going to cause an anti-cheat to flag. I am checking for irregularities and what shouldn't exist. So if you're modifying packets,
but my point is
what you send is what other people see. So that's where it doesn't matter. That's why it doesn't matter.
That it's not like surefire. It's not like 100%. Like you can't 100% tell the person is cheating or lagging, and that's the problem. But yeah, treat this video as kind of like a follow-up to the video on why server-side anti-cheats are not the end solution to cheating. This is kind of like why...
No, it's not the end solution. Nothing's the end solution. There's never an end solution. You said it yourself.
Server-side anti-cheats will always fail. Not really exactly why they're not the end solution to cheating. So yeah, so the lag problem is something that's very important. So let me...
That's not the problem.
Give you an example of why that would be an issue. So first of all, the client is delayed to the server.
That's not the problem. Please mention packet skipping. Please mention packet skipping. Come on. Please.
What I mean by that is that obviously this client has to send packets to the server, right?
Yeah.
Now, how does the server, say the server wants to measure reach, right? The server will try to get the
server never ever measures reach. I don't know what he means by server. Meaning, yeah, if I just get player location and then I distance player location, it's gonna be what the server sees, not what the client sees. But again, you subtract the ping. You probably divide it by 2 because only part of it is in the equation. It depends. Sometimes if it's only server to client, you want to go ahead and just subtract the ping value. So that's what you get from the server to client, and you subtract that and you go back. But if you want everything from the interaction from server to client to server, you use the entire ping value, and that's how you subtract, and that's how you get the accurate measurement of what they see. that's not the problem.
Get the client's position and then figure out if the position that the client's at and attacking is invalid. So if the person is at six blocks away from the opponent, then obviously they can't be attacking them, so you flag them on the anti-cheat, right? But the problem is that when people have high MS, like if someone has like 300 MS, the server can't really tell where the person actually is.
The server does not calculate shit of where the player is. It takes the information it gets from the client and displays it to other players. It doesn't calculate anything. It has its own little internal checks for things that might go wrong. For example, certain things are calculated on the server side, but the last and only thing that is not calculated on the server side is position. How do you think speed works? How do you think teleport bypasses work? How do you think crashers that teleport into different worlds work? That exists, by the way. It exists. Like, I'm just saying that the teleport into different worlds is an exploit on specific spigots, by the way. Depends, but it exists, is what I'm saying. I'm just reading chat. But, like...
because the delay between the client and the server is so high.
If he says delay one more time, I'm going to beat the shit out of him.
That guy has very good stuff. Holy crap. The delay between the client and the server is so high, it's virtually impossible to tell where the client actually is.
It's not virtually impossible. Subtraction. First grade math. Let me do.
The server can't actually tell if the client's using a reach because the server doesn't even know the client's position. So in that respect, you know, it's basically impossible.
Oh, I should actually mention that he said if the player's above 6 blocks, he doesn't flag. The server checks if the player is 6 blocks away, or what it sees is 6 blocks away. I need water, my throat's dry, I've been talking too much. But like, that's not what you flag. You can still be more than 6 blocks away if you have high enough ping. I mean, what the actual NMS code sees, or bucket code. I can't remember specifically what's checking for it. I think it's bucket. I can't be sure. But basically, that doesn't affect it. If you are making a reach check off of like a damage event or something like that, then that wouldn't even be relevant. But like, you can totally have a situation where a player is literally 8 blocks away and legit. Theoretically. But, yeah. Not a thing. You have to check for ping by subtracting. Basic math.
To tell if someone's using a reach if they have really high ping on the server side. However, as I said before, a client's anti-cheat bypasses that because the client's
Oh yeah, you're right. Kindergarten math. I forgot you learned subtraction in kindergarten with cookies, you know? With cookies.
Will detect cheats at the source. It detects cheats, you know, in the code of the game. It doesn't detect it, you know, from packets sent to the server because packets sent to the server will have lag and, you know,
I want to hear what he said again.
It detects cheats, you know, in the code of the game. It doesn't detect it, you know, from packets sent to the server because packets sent to the server will have lag.
I'm going to get water, and then I'm going to comment on why he doesn't know how client-side entities work. I'll be right back. Okay, so he said that you can't tell the information, or it's harder to tell the information. I should drink. Okay, that's a lot better. he said that it's gonna fail on the server side because you can't detect it with packets. Now let's assume that argument is true. He said that you're going to be able to detect things on the client side using information from the client, where you can't trust you can actually not be able to trust information from there even less. And for example, he made a video recently saying that Hypixel can't even ban for first-person reach anymore because misplaced. I didn't watch the video, but I'm pretty sure that's what he means, because there's no other reason. If he said something else, he's retarded. That's all I'm saying. But hold on, don't open. 1 second. Noise complaint. My bad. Okay, we'll be a little bit quieter. We're gonna do some even more ASMR, but basically, not much. Like, this is only 12 fluid ounces. It's not much. Lovely. It's not water. Even then. What was I saying? Misplace. It brings the entities closer on the rendering engine before it's even calculated, or I believe so, because that's how it would work. How would you be able to tell if they're doing that? No, what client-side cheats generally do is they compare the current code that's being run, I believe, in the memory. I do not know exactly how they will to the dot because I don't work on them, but I know how they would function. And how they would function is on a very basic level, is they compare what it should be to what it is at the moment. So for example, if I inject, for example, vape v3 and all those new foreign files are in there, I can compare that file difference in the memory to what it should be. And if it's different, there's a problem. And that is why Badline Client cannot be modified. It's because if you modify it, it flags it flags for cheating. And there are other things I know it looks for that are not directly by modification. For example, autoclickers, which is much easier to detect. I believe just for maybe API purposes, but even the autoclickers can spoof that. They can spoof it as an actual mouse, and that's how you would probably get away with that. I think it has to do with Windows kernel things and whatnot, blah 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 blah. But it's not even kernel. Maybe it's kernel. I don't know. I'm not a very low level developer. I don't work on low software levels, like at all. But I mean, like, I did take a class on some of that, so, but like a long time ago, and it wasn't even in depth. So I have basic knowledge, but basically, it is not what he's thinking. Anything, it's primarily based on checksum differences, or any other method of looking at things from the actual code it is to what they're comparing it to. It's just comparing and contrasting. Majority of client-side HTTPs do that. There are other ways to do it. For example, detecting when things are modified without from normal places. It's another way to do it. That's how Lunar Client does it. But by the way, Lunar Client just uses AAL, so there are ways to get around that. But that's basically their client-side anti-cheat is advanced anti-leak. Meant for cheats. How ironic. Okay. So yeah, Raspberry Pi autoclicker, because it's being run on a different machine. It can't look for it. Like, I mean, so that's the thing. We'll continue.
And the lag, the delay will kind of obfuscate it. Holy crap, that's a bridge egg. That's a bridge egg. The lag will almost kind of obfuscate, the information.
If it is enough lag to obfuscate information, then that cheater would not have an advantage, because the cheater would be constantly teleporting around and probably would be kicked by the game for lagging so bad if it's a decent server who actually implements that, or it's just not even setting keep alive at that point. For it to obfuscate information enough for it to be unreadable, because information is, for the most part, sent in order unless specifically tampered. The TCP protocol specifically ensures that. It may it's rare. I think usually the problem with things coming in out of order is, I think, UDP based. But TCP, I think it's virtually impossible for it to go out of order because it's a direct transfer. But that's the only thing I could think that could fuck up an anti-cheat, which is only artificial. So let's continue.
That the server can actually gather from the client, and I need to knock this guy off immediately. This is not good. I'm not going to die to a tryhard again. Bye-bye. What? He actually... Oh my god, he survived that. Oh god, no. No, please. Fuck. I'm dead. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Fuck. He's a tryhard. I can't. He's a freaking tryhard. Freaking Bedwars tryhards. Literally. I killed him. Oh my god, get me out of here, please. Get me out of here, please. Please. Obviously using a reach with, with lag, but you can kind of like, you can create like a probabilistic estimate about whether or not someone's cheating or using like, obviously using a reach with, with lag.
Probabilistic estimate. You see, it is not probability. It is not a probability function. You are looking for something, and if that doesn't happen, it doesn't do anything. There is no 80% chance, 70% chance, 60% chance, 50% chance. That is maybe made inside the anti-cheat developer's mind of what they're cheating when they look at the alerts, if it's a shit check. Or shit implementation of a check. But like, the only time that might be a thing is if you're working with like a neural network where it would spit out a weight, which is sort of like probability. I guess it is probability. So, but like, only Hypixel really has a neural network, and even then it's basically hard coding. It's hard coded. That's all it is. It doesn't work in this implementation, unfortunately, where things are constantly changing. Doesn't work.
But you can't be 100% certain ever because you're not 100% certain of the player's position. So because you're not 100% certain of the player's position, you can't tell if they're using reach. This guy is definitely going to hunt me.
You can't be 100% sure. That's a fair point, but you don't have to be 100% sure. There are ways to get around it.
Down.
You just have to have a brain.
100% need to go to someone's island. I'm going to go over there.
Well, there are ways to be 100% sure, but you do want to put a little bit of padding just in case, because there are things that could happen, but like, a little bit of padding doesn't hurt.
This way. Is this a... No. That is not good. No. Please leave me alone. No. Alright, when I'm recording, I could easily probably kill that guy if... In the previous video is the fact that the server also has to run on a 20 tick system, and that's...
No, it doesn't. Not only if you process things after NMS, which then you would be very much limiting yourself to what you can check for, because you are running on that system. But if you're running an anti-cheat on the system, which, by the way, all the anti-cheats that you suck the cock of don't. I don't know why you're saying this. You suck the cock of the Varus devs. They don't run on that shit. And wait a second. They probably do. Maybe that's why they have so many false bans and they suck. Maybe that's why he's getting this information, because he sucks the dick of Jacob and Kyle, who can't make a proper anti-cheat. Huh. Now I don't blame him. I bet you Kyle and Jacob complain about things like ping because they're incompetent.
That's actually a huge detriment to trying to see if someone's cheating, because you can't get the exact timestamp that they sent the packet in.
Yes, you can. It's called ping. You subtract it. It won't be exact, but it's pretty close. especially since you of course work in this 50 millisecond window. That is a lot of padding for error. Surprisingly, seems small, but it's a lot. So the 50 millisecond window does have an advantage, actually.
So
that's one of the advantages: padding. Padding by design.
Not only can you not get the exact timestamp they sent the packet in, but you can also not get their exact position.
Which, by the way, I'm not talking about 20 TPS of the server. I'm talking about the rate of packets are sent on the client, which is in a queue system, and it's queued, and that queue is processed, I believe, every 50 milliseconds. So yeah.
So you can kind of see how this is going. Like you don't know where the person is, and you don't know when the person was at that area.
Yes, you do.
Like, you know, like a range of areas the person could be in.
Not really. Very short range. A range, but not the range you're thinking of.
And you know, like, a range of times the person could be in. But it's those factors, like, kind of combined, which make you know, server-side anti-cheats kind of flawed.
Not really.
In my opinion, like, they're very flawed.
In your opinion. So if you think they'll fail, that's your opinion, not a fact.
And also the fact that the server, there's no way that the server could see, like, stuff like name tags, or, you know, either name tags or, you know, other you know, client-side cheats like ESP or.
There are ways to get around it, actually. You can do it on the server side, but it's not exactly very lightweight on server hardware. But yeah, there are ways to get around it without impacting player experience, but not exactly fair. But even then, not really a problem with ESP and name tags in a PvP situation if you block PvP cheats. But you're right, that's where it can be blocked if, theoretically, it's not injectable into the client and doesn't bypass. Theoretically. Depends on the client anti-cheat being shit or not.
X-ray, the server can't actually ban for. They can prevent them, but they can't actually ban for them.
Why would you want to ban for X-ray if you could prevent it? You wouldn't need to. You wouldn't need to. You wouldn't need to. Okay, continue.
And my mouse just died. Okay, that's not good. That's very not good at all. Very not good. You have... Okay, yeah, this is why I'm bad at commentating, and, you know...
Buddy. No, it looked like Reach because of his fisheye settings. Probably isn't.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe that's why he thinks everyone's cheating, because he's using fisheye.
This is why I'm bad at commentating and, you know, playing better.
Maybe you should just do it like your other videos and just record the Bed Wars. But maybe he didn't do it until later on.
At the same time.
I am watching an older video.
I just can't do it, but I'm going to be doing it anyway because I enjoy doing it, but don't expect good gameplay. I mean, off camera, I could easily go on like a 25 win streak in solo, but, you know, on camera, I just can't do that. Anyway,
no, not if you just focus.
Anyway, I'm going to try to win this one, at least. And what the heck? How did that happen? Who the heck was at my base? That's crazy. Okay. Let's see. Let's get ASAP. We need materials. Should go to the diamond spawner right now. You know, that looks like cheats. Holy crap. Okay. That's crazy. All right. Now, hopefully we can make it to our base at least. Speaking of lag and not being, because, you know, they're limited in the amount of information. And that's probably not that much.
He says the same thing over and over and over again. All right, we're not wasting my time. I'm going to end the stream and go to bed. Thank you all for watching. And as always, stay funky. And I'll see you later. Goodbye.